In 1757, there was a publication that came out that named the specialities of London's prostitutes. And the reason I'm telling you about this is because I've recently been watching Harlots, and I was curious to see if it was based on any truth, and it kind of is. It was written by the head waiter of the Shakespeare's Head Tavern, which was in Covent Garden, and it's called Harris's List of Covent Garden Ladies, and it sold almost 250,000 copies. Over 250,000. It then became like an annual directory of the Georgian women in London. Well, specific women in Georgian London. Most of the entries were complimentary of the women, but some were critical. Some could be horrible. Over the years, when it's published then under various different pseudonyms, but it's thought to have been inspired by the life of Jack Harries, who I believe was that waiter at the Covent Garden pub, Jack Harries, who was a Covent Garden pimp. So the characters in the show aren't based like specifically on one woman's story, but they kind of combine them all. They're sort of based on a few different tales. In the 1750s, there was a courtesan, or I believe they're called a kept woman, who was one of the first people who was just sort of famous for being her, famous for famous's sake. And she was painted multiple times by Sir Joshua Reynolds. And then other parts of the story can be seen to be inspired by William Hogarth's engravings. It's called A Harlot's Progress, and it's exactly that. So it shows a young woman coming into the city, and she's seen by an older woman who goes, "Oh, look at you, my pretty," and she tells her off to two men, and I believe that's a kept woman, so she's sort of okay. She's with those two rich men, but then she goes downhill and becomes a normal prostitute, and then she ends up in prison, and she dies from venereal disease at just age 23. So that feels like that's shown a lot in the TV show Harlots as well. Lots of inspiration, no specific one character exactly, but lots of truthful feeling tales.